So what is the deal with Clubhouse, right? Everyone's chatting about this new app, the Clubhouse app. I mean, it's iPhone only, it's invite only, it's voice only. I mean, is it only as good as what everyone's saying? Let's take a look at how we're using it here in the Lyons Den and make up your own decision. Let's go. Hi, I'm Kevin Lyons. I'm CEO and Chief Solutions Officer at Lyons Den Solutions. Welcome to the video today. We're going to be talking about the new Clubhouse app. It's not that new. I mean, it kind of came out less than a year ago, but it's getting a lot of attention. It just went through another round of funding. I heard that last week they hit 2 million users, and this is a very quick up and coming app. And I just want you to pay attention to it because you may find yourself joining someone's room in their Clubhouse. So today we're going to do a couple of things. I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm using Clubhouse. I'm also going to talk through the actual functions of Clubhouse, and we're going to go through a menu by menu look at it. So first off, I cut my teeth in social media back in, goodness, 2004 or something like that. First time was CompuServe, like way back then, but 2008 is when I joined Twitter. And Twitter in the early days, we had these things called tweet chats, and man, it was all the rage. We had blog chat. I helped launch that one. We had all these different things going on to where we would get together on Tuesdays for this conversation and Fridays for that conversation. And I met some of the most amazing people I've ever met before during that 2008, 2009 sweet spot of Twitter. Matter of fact, during that time, 100% of my income and my revenue for Lyons Den came from those relationships that I met on Twitter. So Clubhouse reminds me of those good old days of accessibility and of access and being able to find some people there, either someone who is a thought leader that you want to learn from or possibly prospects that you want to do business with. Clubhouse gives you a lot of that opportunity. So here's what it is and some of the things what it's not. Clubhouse is a voice-only social network. It is invitation only currently because it's in beta, and there are a limited number of invitations. Basically, you have to ask around and be nice, and you might get an invitation. It's also it's a very unique because it is voice only. It's a two-way conversation. So think about like a Zoom call without video, but a little different. So there's rooms, there's a hallway, there's rooms, there's topics. You can find people, you can upload your contacts, and they'll identify people that you know they're already on there. But it is a baby application that is it's an early stage beta, and almost every couple of days there's a new beta that comes out. They just opened it up to a couple of countries overseas, and they are actively working on an Android version, which I believe will be in about 3 to 6 months. Some other things to know about Clubhouse is you can't record on it. They're very strict about recording. And so when I show you the screen share here, we will not be listening to any Clubhouse rooms today. But you also have to participate to get the best value out of it. So let's go ahead and just jump in and take a look at Clubhouse. So here I'm on my phone. This is the App Store. And you just search for Clubhouse drop-in audio. And let's go ahead and open it up. So right here, you see, and what I just did there is with my thumb, I pulled down and released. You'll hear this nomenclature on Clubhouse. You know, every social network has its own speak, if you will. That was called a PTR, or a pull to refresh. That just helps refresh the apps, and you do it a lot in the rooms. So here is what's called the main hallway. These are, and I'm just going to show you into a club real quick, and then we're going to go menu by menu as we go forward. So this is a club, and I'm going to pull my glasses out here. So there's all types of topics. This is how to pick the right coach in the world of experts. Okay, your hallway is really determined upon your interest and the people you follow and what clubs they're involved with. So let's just kind of scroll through here, and you see there's some big ones on here. And what's crazy is a lot of celebrities and a lot of other well-known influencers kind of pop in and show up on these clubs. Let's find one that might be of interest. Here's using Clubhouse for business and marketing. Okay, I can see here that there's a couple of people in here, a couple of people I know. So I'm going to click into this club. Now it's going to give me this error message at the top. Basically, sharing recordings without speakers' permissions violates community guidelines. So we are not recording any of the audio in this club right now. So this, or in this room. So this is a Clubhouse room. You can see here there's a top section and the icons that are on here. You can see that Jacqueline is currently, she's applauding. That's her mic going on and off. You can see that Dwayne has that gray circle around him. That means that he is currently speaking. There are all the little green stars, or green eggs as they call it. That means that these are moderators on this room. So the moderator has the ability of starting the room, of bringing people up on stage to speak, to turn on and off a hand raise feature, and other things. So let's look at the bottom of the screen. You have this, peace out, leave quietly. It's customary on Clubhouse to go in and out of as many rooms as you want and just explore. It's okay. Sometimes I go into a room and there's 5 people in there and I just kind of back out the doorway. Other times I go into a room and there's thousands of people. It's just, you go and explore these conversations. The next to it on the plus sign, you can see at the bottom, that plus sign is how you add or you ping people that you know to invite them to come to this room. So let's say I'm on this hot topic and I'm like, hey, my buddy George wants, he should be in this room, or he has an answer, he has something to contribute or something of that nature. I can click that button, and anyone that follows me and I follow them, I could just choose them and bring them into this room. So I'm going to click off of that. Next to it, you see the hand. The hand is to raise your hand that you want to participate in the conversation. And what that does is it lets the moderators know that they can open up the hand raise, and it lets them know that you have either something to add or something to say, and they invite you up to the room or up to the stage. When you go up on stage, a quick tip is make sure you immediately mute your microphone, because if you're in a conversation, you go up on stage, your mic is hot, your mic is on when you get on that stage. So you want to mute that microphone. Let's look at the screen a little bit more, then I'll talk a little bit more about the flow of a room. So as we go down, this group of people is called followed by the speakers. That means that someone up here, whether it's a moderator or a speaker, so a moderator is someone who has control of the room, a speaker is someone who has the ability to contribute into the room, they are followed by them. Down below that is others in the room. So these are all the people that are currently involved in this conversation surrounding using Clubhouse for business and marketing. Now I'm going to do a PTR. And when you do that, sometimes people will actually change their profile pics. They didn't in this room. So let's go to another room, and I'm going to leave quietly. Oh, something to know is while you're in the room, you can minimize that room and look at the other rooms and do the other functions on the Clubhouse app while you do so. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that room. I'm going to come here. I'm going to say leave quietly. Now let's find another room here. Here we go, YouTube Secrets of 2021. Let's pop in here. Now here it's going to give me that warning because it knows that I have my phone plugged into my computer so I can show you the screen. Here we can see Benji is currently talking, and they're probably, and it looks like, he's pulled some people up on stage. There's Judy Fox of LinkedIn. It looks like she's talking. So let's talk about profiles a little bit. What do you do with this? How do you know who these people are? Well, if I go in and I click on a profile, it will tell me a couple of things. Here we see her icon, Judy Fox. We see her Clubhouse identifier. She is a moderator. She happens to follow me on Clubhouse. Up top, you can see I have following selected, and I have the notification bell next to it selected. If I click into her profile, you'll see that she has 6.9 followers, 1.6 thousand that she's following. And this is the profile. This is the gold on Clubhouse. If you're going to spend any time on this app, you need to fill out your profile. It's customary to use lots of icons and lots of visuals. There's only 2 links that Clubhouse allows you to connect. One is your Twitter account, and the second one is your Instagram account. So there is no direct messaging or no direct voices going back and forth with Clubhouse. It's all on Clubhouse, or you click out of Clubhouse to Twitter or Instagram and you use DMs there. Most of the time I see people connect with me, or I connected with them on their Instagram direct message. So as we go, oh look, Eileen Smith. Eileen, I think you're watching me. She's inviting me to leave and start a new room together. So this is someone who's saying, hey, do you want to get together and do a room? Well, I'll probably do that a little bit later when I go through my walkthrough, but that's a great feature. Thanks, Eileen, for the invite. So I'm going to click on maybe later. So as we look at Judy, we can see a lot of information about her. And of course, we can, at the very bottom, see who she is nominated by. Now, this is something that's very interesting with Clubhouse. Because it's an invite-only club, the person who invites you into Clubhouse is kind of responsible for you. So if you're a bad actor and you actually come into Clubhouse and you start messing around, you get kicked out of the app, or you're starting to haze on people and so forth. If you get kicked off of Clubhouse, it's very possible the person who invited you to Clubhouse could also have their account suspended. So just keep that in mind as you are sending out those invites. You don't want to just invite anyone. You usually only get 5. So at the bottom, we also see different groups that she is a member of. So let's hop out of that. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this room quietly. And I'm going to go to my profile. So here I am, Kevin Lyons. I'm relatively new on Clubhouse. You can see my followers and so forth. And I've filled out my profile with all of the things that I've either done or things I'm interested in, including some of my hobbies like RV or nature photography and so forth. I do put my URL on there, but that URL is not clickable. It thinks I want to update the bio. To update your bio, all you have to do is just click on the bio and it takes you to that. You also have, of course, the groups that I'm involved in. Let's take a look through just some of the settings, and then I'm going to show you how to find people and start your Clubhouse world, if you will. So under settings, you see a couple of things. This is under notifications. Now, once you really get into Clubhouse, it's addictive. It is so addictive. The frequency, I have mine set to normal, but sometimes, oh my goodness, I can get pinged like multiple times a minute of so-and-so started a room, so-and-so started a room, and so forth. So I keep mine at normal, but sometimes I drop it down to infrequently if I'm busy, or I just, turn it off. I have include trending room. So if there's some big, huge room or something happening of someone that I'm not following, I want to hear about that room. Here you can pause notifications. You can also select specific interests that you're interested in, like whether it's angel investing or so forth. With me, we do a lot of virtual events. So I follow a lot of people that do events or are involved in production or nonprofits or associations or healthcare. I did not personally set up the interest because I really wanted to have an organic control over the people I follow and how I built out my stream, which in this way is called the hallway. So you can choose your interests, and then you have what's new, FAQs, community guidelines, and so forth. Now you can also create your own club. Now you can start a room without having a club. In your room, you can put a title on it. You can ping people into it. I suggest if you're going to do that, get together with some other Clubhouse users outside of Clubhouse and say, hey, I'm going to start a room in 10 minutes. Can you guys come and join so you're not standing in the echo chamber by yourself? But eventually other people will see your room, especially if they follow you, and they'll start joining in with you. So another thing that I think is very important is if you look at the FAQ and contact us, let's just take a look at that. And it takes you over to, they have a Notion site. In here, this gives you everything you want to know about how does Clubhouse work and can I take an invite back and so forth. But a very important thing is, let's say you do want to start a club. That is right here. How can I start a club? Now, why would you start a club? You would start a club if let's say you have a brand or your company wants to have something that is a branded club, or you're passionate about live streaming, you're passionate about YouTube, or you have something that has a cohesion around it that you want to have a club, that you want to move an audience that maybe you've already established somewhere else, like on a Facebook group or an email list, into that club so that you can have these conversations with them. So that is all about the clubs. I'm coming back out. I'm going to go back out to the hallway. I'm going to go up to the top of the hallway. I'm going to do a PTR, pull to refresh, and just see what we have going. Now, I have some clubs that are coming up. It looks like at 5 p.m. For some reason, the clock on my phone is wrong when I stream my phone. But so these are some clubs that are coming up. Let's start with the top left on this search. So when you go to search, first off, it gives you some suggestions of people to follow. It also gives you topics down here to follow. And there's 2 different things that you can search for. So you can search for people or you can search for clubs. So let's say that you want to see if Kevin Lyons is on Clubhouse. Well, right there, it looks like two of us are on Clubhouse, myself and this other gentleman below me, and I'm right there, engagement architect, speaker, and so forth. So you can search for people. Let's say that I wanted to search for, goodness, let's say live streaming. So here it's bringing people up. They're interested in live streaming. Like there's, this person, Larissa, who it looks like she is a live stream and virtual event producer. Okay, interesting. So I could follow her by clicking the follow because she might have some interesting things to say. She looks like she has a good following, 1,000 people. And so I'll go ahead and take a look at her, her profile, and you can see who she's followed by, and I know a couple of those people, and it's like, oh cool, I just met someone new that I would like to see what rooms that she's involved in. The other thing I could do is click on clubs, and when you go to clubs, this actually starts showing me different clubs related to live streaming. So I see my buddies there at Let's Get Live, which I happen to be a club member of, and so that has 124 members and 87 followers. Now, if you see the little Monopoly house next to Let's Get Live, if I click that, let's see, that shows it's a true club. Actually, that only works when you're actually in a chat with them. Oh, let's see here. Someone just are now talking about a 10x your list. Okay, so you get all these notifications as you're in here. So I clicked on the Let's Get Live club. So this is what a club looks like. So remember, under search, I did live stream. I see all these clubs that I can follow, and then someone in that club can invite me to be a part of that club. If I follow the club, I'll know when anyone in that club is speaking. If I'm invited into the club, I'm able to initiate conversations at a club level with anyone in there. So here we are in the club, and there's 174 members. You can see many of these I'm following. Man, this is a great club. Diana Gladley and India, and goodness, so many great people in this club. So this is kind of what a club looks like. If I click on the top right, 3 dots, I could leave the club. If I click on the add person, I can again search Clubhouse or search my contacts to nominate people to join this club. That's where I can add people into them. Okay, it looks like American Marketing Association, Boston Startup Mentors. Again, it just flies at you over and over as far as all of these great ways to engage. Another thing you can do is come down here and look at conversations about. So let's say I want to take a look at conversations about technology. And then inside technology, and that's suggesting some people to listen to. Usually these are influencers, people that are active on Clubhouse. Let's say right here, Instagram marketing secrets and tips and tricks. Okay, let's click on that and see what they're about. So again, this is a club about those various things. Follow them, you can unfollow them, but you start building out your likes and interests. The very first thing, though, that I really encourage you to do is trust Clubhouse to look or to connect into your contacts. It will find all of your contacts who are on Clubhouse, and that will make some great connections for you to get started. So let's go across the top and look at these 4 different icons. First off, we have the invites. The invites, you get 5 usually when you sign up. And it tells you of everyone that is in your contact list. Like, for instance, here's Phil Town. He happens to have 64 friends on Clubhouse. I think he's already on Clubhouse, but still you can see everyone in there. Next to it is you have a calendar. So you can do an impromptu club, or you can also schedule a club. Or I'm sorry, an impromptu room, or schedule a room. And you can schedule it as either yourself or as a club. So here I can see today there's some clubs coming up. YouTube Secrets, okay, the VIP Lounge. We have online course creation. There's a lot of educators on here doing course creation and course development. Authenticity and social media. But then it's like barbecue, or barbecue. It's like some of these clubs are just impromptu. They're informal. And a lot of the conversations are very informal, but you meet a lot of amazing people. These are upcoming for me. Something I did notice is if you click this, and you can see all upcoming. So now this is going to tell me every upcoming scheduled club. I'm not sure if it's every single one in the Clubhouse universe, but still it gives you an idea of all the upcoming clubs. I'm going to come back out of here and I'm going to click on this notification. So, and I did a PTR just to refresh, make sure I have the newest version. The activity under the notifications, I have 2 people here that have invited me to join their clubs. I always take a look at the clubs first and make sure it's something I'm like-minded with or I have interest in, and then I might invite. I haven't had a chance to check out those clubs yet. Then you can see here that like Benji started the YouTube Secrets room, and you can see all the activity underneath it. The purpose of this video is really just to kind of give you an overview of the app, to give you an idea of what this thing is and what's going on. Here's something else. Is if I click on myself again, it's common for people to change out their profile pic to send a silent message into a club room. So you may want to have a couple different avatars, like, or, they could say, PTR and see my latest, update. A lot of times people put like, I'm just listening, or I'll be right back, or BRB, and they'll just put letters on top of their profile. You can see here I have 217 followers. If you click on your followers, much like any other social network, you can actually see everyone that is following you, as well as everyone that you're following. And again, at the very bottom, you can see the clubs that you're a member of. So that's the icons across the top. The big green icon in the bottom is start a room. So you can organically just click that icon, start a room, and start having a voice conversation with someone. On the bottom right-hand corner, or if you swipe over, there is this. This shows you the active clubs. And if I click on show all the active clubs, these are the clubs that I'm either following or I'm a part of and their activity. So you can see thought leaders, Ecamm Live community. I'm producing this on Ecamm Live, mastermind community, and how many people within those communities are currently live now. If I click into the Ecamm Live community, you can see everyone that's there. So coming back out of Ecamm Live, these are the individuals that I follow that are either available to chat. That would mean that they also follow me back. But also, if you take a look under, like here is Elicio, who he's an amazing creator. Underneath that, he's in a room called Becoming Viral on YouTube. Crystal and Samuel, they're just online. Looks like Tracy is in that YouTube Secrets room. Judy Fox is in the YouTube Secrets room. And what you can do is I say, hey, you know what? I want to jump into one of these rooms. I'm going to click on Judy. And right here, I can either start a closed room together if I wanted to have a private one-on-one conversation with her. I can view her full profile, or I can click here and join the room they're speaking in. I'm anticipating that red error. There we go. I'm going to swipe that away because we are not recording the audio in these rooms. And we can see here that Judy is actually on stage and she's currently talking because she has that gold circle around her. And right there, we're involved into that room. Again, if we wanted to exit that, and I'm still listening to it, quote unquote, down at the bottom. But let's say we go down, and here's one. Shannon Blogs is in a room about Instagram. So let's join that room. Okay. And we can see here that there's a lot of people up on stage and talking. Those are probably people that were down in the audience that they invited up to have a larger discussion. Now, there's a couple of things to know, and let me see if I can find the room of some of the moderators that I know they're pretty popular on here. And let's go to, I saw Marissa here. And if I go to her room, let's see what she has going on. Oh, you see all the little icons flashing, the mute buttons going on and off? That's applause. So they're clapping for whatever thought or idea that's there. So when you're in a room, you're going to hear some terminology from the moderator. Usually there's one person designated as the top moderator, and they're going to say things like, okay, we're going to reset the room. What that means is they recognize that people are coming in and out of these rooms. These are not webinars. These are not classrooms. These are people coming in and out of rooms, going from room to room to room. So periodically when you're in the room, they'll reset the room and they'll go something like this. Hi, you're in the Lyons Den Solutions room on Clubhouse, and we are here to have a conversation about how to use the Clubhouse app. Don't forget, if you have something to contribute to the conversation, raise your hand and I will invite you to the stage. When you come to the stage, mute your mic. Make sure when you do introduce yourself, you make it quick and concise and try to ask that question quickly so that we can give you the best value. Something like that. They do it periodically, and that's called resetting the room. So that is a walkthrough of what Clubhouse looks like. And I'm going to go ahead and leave this room quietly so I don't forget that I'm in it. And let's talk about why you would use Clubhouse. I can tell you that in the past 2 weeks of using Clubhouse, my personal network has extended greatly. I've met other YouTubers. I've met many, many people in the events industry. I mean, I thought I knew a lot of people in the events industry, but wow. You use it to network, you use it to expand your network, but also I've learned so much. I go into topics that, just blow my mind of some of the innovation and creation, tactics that, some of these creators are using. Also, I mean, you come across a lot of influencers. There's been a lot of actors, a lot of TV personalities. Mr. Beast actually, he popped onto, Clubhouse not too long ago, and I was in this room, and boom, there's Mr. Beast on stage. If you don't know who that is, he's a very popular YouTube influencer. So use Clubhouse kind of like you would use Twitter, kind of like you would use LinkedIn or anything else. And don't be afraid to jump in, check out the room. And if you're on there, give me a follow, and I'd love to connect with you on Clubhouse. I hope this helped by breaking down some of the mystery behind it. It's basically a voice only social network. I do recommend using earbuds, or AirPods, just to make things clear and easy. But don't be afraid. There's nothing scary going on well, there's probably are some scary things going on in Clubhouse, but there's nothing that's going to hurt you. It's only going to help you expand your business. I hope this helps. Again, Kevin Lyons, CEO, Chief Solutions Officer of the Lyons Den. Let me know if you're on Clubhouse. Show me, throw me your handle in the comments, and I'd love to follow you. And I'll see you next time.